Drinking buddies, we're going to drink through the standard offerings from Chattanooga Distillery and then go into this absolutely wild herbal finished infused thing over here. Let's go.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies. So we have the 91 proof Chattanooga bourbon. It does say bourbon on their label, right? Yeah, straight bourbon whiskey. I've never had this before. Then we have the Chattanooga 111. Now, I have had this one before, and I really dig it. I am a big fan of the Chattanooga 111. I've had some of their other experimental stuff. One of them was a peated bourbon that I actually quite enjoyed. This thing, on the other hand, this thing is wild. It is so strong on the nose that I can smell it all the way over here. I can smell that glass. Anyway, it is a bourbon liqueur infused with ginseng, bilberry, star anise, anise hyssop, sarsaparilla, dark candy syrup, and a variety of aromatic botanicals. The batch size was 4 barrels. It is 81 proof. And yeah, it was done in single-use bourbon barrels. I thought that this might be like a chartreuse type thing, but it's looking more like a Jaeger type thing. Start with the 91. Oh yeah, just a classic bourbon nose. Oh, this is a pretty nice nose. Bright, citrusy, honey, brown sugar. Classic bourbon nose. Nice and rye spicy. Nice punch of flavor, little cherry thing. Vanilla, cinnamon. This is quite good. This is one that, hey, maybe you can't find Buffalo Trace in your area. Maybe you can't find that. Grab this instead, because this is quite comparable. This is a very good, 90-ish proof bourbon. I would certainly recommend this for beginners, people who are just getting into bourbon. This would be a great place to start. Meanwhile, this guy, that 111 proof, is going to deliver a little bit more flavor punch. So let's check this guy out. Oh yeah, that's just like so much more. There's more. It's a punch of those like darker flavors, like raisins and like pipe tobacco. The cherry thing is coming through on the palate that I got here. I'm getting that on the nose too. It's like dark cherries, raisins, and pipe tobacco. That is just delightful. I think that is such an underrated bourbon. For being a shelf whiskey, it's not available in Arizona, but you can buy it online. And in Arizona, you can get shipped here. So let's consider it available in Arizona since you can buy it online. But they do a really good job with this one. This is a shelf bottle. It's not expensive, and it delivers some really good flavors. I would say this is, in the same realm as some other, bourbon heavy hitters in the barrel proof, budget available section, things like Rare Breed, Still Austin cask strength. This is very comparable to those guys. So maybe if you're having trouble finding things like, maybe if you're having trouble finding things like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Stag Jr., try this because it's really good. Yeah, I really like that. Really nice cherry punch. Really nice, a little leather thing here. It's got some good age on it. It's got some good flavor on it. It doesn't taste crafty. It just tastes great. All right, this one is a little out there. Kind of looks like motor oil in my glass. Let's see. Wow, that smells like black licorice. Black licorice for days. And herbs, lots of like herbal notes like basil, mint, dill, maybe not dill, but yeah, basil and mint for sure. Oh man, it really is giving me cookie vibes too. Like maybe like a cookie that has anise baked into it. black pepper, a lot of black licorice, anise, fennel. It's really, it's a little too sweet for me. I think I would like it a little bit more if it was just giving those punches of odd flavors and had less of it has some sort of candy syrup in it. Let's see, dark candy syrup. I think that they were maybe a little too heavy-handed on that for my palate. It's a little too sweet. It does drink like freaking candy though, so I will say that. If you are a fan of drinking candy, that's kind of candy. Mike and Ike's, not Mike and Ike's, Good and Plenty's, the sugar-coated black licorice. That, yeah, Good and Plenty for sure. Yeah, there's definitely a baked thing here. I'm not describing it very well, but it's something like a cookie with anise in it, some sort of anise cookie. Anyway, I don't necessarily think this is a bottle that I'm recommending purely because I think it's too sweet for my palate, but it is very interesting, very wild. And if you're a bourbon fan that also likes things like Jaeger or like Chartreuse or, maybe even some of the Amaros, you might give this a try because it's wild. I think I might like this better on the rocks. So maybe I screwed up by throwing it in a Glen. I think this would be a better served over a big sphere of ice. And yeah, you might even make some cocktails with this. If you did like 2 ounces of bourbon and a half ounce of this to make like an old fashioned, I think you could make a really nice like black licorice old fashioned that would taste really nice. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to have to revisit this in a cocktail. So we will have to come back to this guy because I don't think I'm treating it right by just drinking it straight out of a Glen. So anyway, drinking buddies, I'm definitely going to say bye, and let's revisit that guy. I think drinking it neat out of a Glen, it's a pass for me, but I think when we make some cocktails with it, I'm going to really be able to make that thing shine. Well, drinking buddies, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Every time you guys like the video, every time you guys subscribe to the channel, you make this thing possible. I could not do this without you. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you. Cheers.
I'm your drinking buddy.